So we recently just had one of our intro to anatomy scans to see how baby's doing. I am officially 14 weeks pregnant, and we do know the sex, which I'm so excited to eventually reveal. But one of the things that I learned at this past scan is that I have an anterior placenta. What is that? I had no idea. I had no idea what that entailed, what it meant. Was it dangerous? What are the side effects, the things that you will go through having one of those? So just to educate some of my new moms who may have the same thing, or just people who are curious, basically an anterior placenta is relatively normal. It's not anything that's alarming or scary. Basically what it means is that the placenta has formed an attachment to the outer lining of the uterus, meaning closest to your belly. And when that happens, it just means that, okay, so you have your stomach, placenta, then baby. So it's almost like an additional layer between your stomach and the baby. Why some people, what they experience with this is some find it harder to actually feel the baby's kicks, and eventually in pregnancy they'll have you just kind of keep track of some of the movements, and for some that's harder to actually feel or physically see. Well, you know how sometimes you see those videos of people who are like, you see like what looks like a hand coming outside of the stomach. Now with there being a placenta between the two, it's not going to be or may not be as visible. Another thing that happens is you, for just the doctor's sake, it may be harder to find the heartbeat, but for the most part, it's nothing that presents any challenges. The only time that it may present some type of challenge is if it is a low-lying placenta, which would mean it is in the way of pretty much the baby's exit when it's time to exit, and that can cause some complications during birth. However, that is not what I have. I will also say, for me, I've been feeling, even at 14 weeks, which at the ultrasound, the lady told us the baby is moving. That baby put on a show, was kicking, high-stepping, moving all around. So she was like, it is possible, because I told her I had been feeling what feels like almost something in my belly that's moving like this. It's not like I feel like a hand or a foot specifically, but it feels like something's readjusting. And I've been thinking it is flutters or whatever everyone's calling it at an early stage in pregnancy. And at first she said with an anterior placenta, perhaps not. But then when she saw how much the baby was moving, she was like, that actually would make sense, which I found really fascinating. But I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, or you felt the same thing, or you, I don't know, just want to tell me about your experience, drop it in the comments. I am absolutely enthralled with all of the momming stuff now that I am a first-time mom, and I love hearing other people's experiences, what maybe they're feeling the same thing I'm feeling, or maybe you've just found this helpful, or you had an experience with an anterior placenta. But drop it in the comments. And that's all. Have a great day.